Have you ever pondered about the profound impact of barrenness? It's a challenge that has been present for centuries, stirring deep emotions and raising questions about life, purpose, and faith. Today, we journey through the pages of an ancient book, the Bible, to discover how it addresses this issue. In the heart of the Bible, we find the story of Abraham and Sarah. They were a couple who had it all: wealth, status, love, except for one thing. They were childless. For decades, the promise of a child seemed like a distant dream. But the Bible tells us that God had a different plan. At the ripe age of 90, Sarah gave birth to Isaac, a miracle child who would become the father of nations. This story teaches us that even in the face of impossibility, divine intervention can bring about extraordinary outcomes. Then we come across the tale of Hannah, a woman of strong faith but great sorrow. She was barren and yearned for a child. In her desperation, Hannah turned to prayer, pouring out her heart to God. The Bible tells us that God heard her plea and blessed her with a son, Samuel, who grew up to be a great prophet. Hannah's story is a testament to the power of prayer and the faithfulness of God. Our journey takes us next to the story of Elizabeth, a woman who had lived a righteous life before God but was barren. When she was well past childbearing age, an angel appeared to her husband, Zechariah, announcing that they would have a son. This son, John the Baptist, went on to play a crucial role in the biblical narrative. Elizabeth's story reminds us that God's timing is perfect, and his plans surpass our understanding. What do these stories tell us? First, they show us that barrenness is not a permanent state. In each case, God intervened at the right time, turning despair into joy, barrenness into fruitfulness. Second, they teach us about the power of faith and prayer. Both Hannah and Sarah had to wait for years, but their faith never wavered. They trusted in God's promise and were rewarded. Lastly, these stories remind us that God's plans are always greater than ours. Elizabeth could never have imagined that her son would be a forerunner for Christ, but God had that plan all along. In closing, remember that the Bible presents a message of hope and faith for those dealing with barrenness. It teaches us to trust in divine timing, maintain unwavering faith, and believe in the power of prayer. As we see in the stories of Sarah, Hannah, and Elizabeth, God's intervention can turn the impossible into possible, transforming barrenness into a blessing. So in the face of challenges, keep faith, hope, and patience as your companions. For as these biblical narratives show, miracles do happen, and they often come when we least expect them.